Don Omar, J. Doe, Rick the Villain, Bust a Bust. Come on. We roll like this. That's how we roll. 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 We roll like this. We roll like this.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the newest edition of The Family Show. Tonight, we're going to be talking about 2011's Fast Five, directed by Justin Lin, written by Chris Morgan. It is the next step up in the Fast and Furious franchise. But before we can go into any more detail on that, I just want to bring on our great panel we got tonight. First up, we do have call sign Coach Kyle. Zach, how are you doing?
I mean, I'm doing really great now that I just watched that intro. I'm assuming that's the surprise you were talking about. That was pretty fucking incredible. So
Yeah,
I'm pretty hyped to talk about it now.
Yeah, it's a really great one, and we're going to bring on the guy who made that in just a sec. But before that, we got call sign Whiskers here. Ferris, how are you doing?
I'm so ready, man. I'm ready to take this trip to Brazil. Technically.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, now let's kick it up a nickel here with hashtag call sign or hashtag ladies night here. John Lestrina, what's up?
Can we just watch the movie instead and just skip the show? I mean,
And
I'm
we-
ready to watch
Dude,
the
I've
movie
got some
again.
good quotes I want to talk about. So
Do it.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a lot of fun. Now, before that, normally we're the only guys that are here talking about it. However, we do have some special guests. First up, we do have from Spin from the Reel, we have their co-host, Matt Thomas. Matt, who happened to be the guy who helped make that intro for us. Matt, thank you very much for making that. How you doing tonight?
No problem. I'm doing all right. If you like that, there's 3 more coming still. So
Yeah, we got it for the other main entries, man. So other than that, we also have one more. He is a new competitor to the First Class League, the developmental league in the Schmoe. He also has his own YouTube channel of Night Entertainment. We got John Knight. John, how are you doing?
Hey, bro. First of all, that intro, Sweet Christmas. That shit just got me just revved up. That was amazing.
Sweet Christmas,
that was badass, man. That was
What do you think?
badass.
What do you think, Zach? 40 weight, 50 weight?
40 weight sounds nice.
Yeah, it's so funny. The other day, what was it, last week? I get a message from Matt saying like, yo, what you doing right now? I said, nothing. And then he just sends me this video and I open it and it's the intro. And I'm like, oh, well, this is awesome.
So awesome.
I cleared it with Buck first. I cleared it with Buck.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, Buck.
But it was a surprise to me.
He's like, ask Buck. I'm like, oh, I already talked to Buck. That's the only reason I made this. She's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, sure, but you got to do what you got to do, and it's a lot of fun. I really like it. I really like adding that to it. I don't know how we're going to be able to do it to any other series after this, because it feels like specific to the Fast and Furious franchise.
I won't do it.
And
I
now,
did
not saying-
this because I love Fast and Furious. There's a reason I did this.
yeah, absolutely. It's Fast and Furious. The whole reason why we're all here is because we love Fast and Furious. We're not here because there's anything relevant going on in the pop culture space involving Fast and Furious. In fact, 20 minutes after we announced we were doing this show, Universal delayed Fast 9 again. So we have no reason to be doing this other than we want to do it. Now, by the way, while we're doing this show, doesn't mean you have to. We do have a Streamlabs/Schmoe Me the Money. You do not have to donate in there. You can comment in the chat. Or you can comment in the Streamlabs, and then we'll still read it as if we read it in the chat. However, we will profit off your comment that way. So up to you. But, we're here. We're talking about Fast Five. Fast Five, like I said, it came out in 2011, directed by Justin Lin, written by Chris Morgan. And Ferris, you got to – I just realized, Ferris, you said you got to go out. All right, cool. We'll put you out for a second. He'll be right back. Now, the movie came out in in April, like the end of April 2011, and it was a huge success. It had a budget of about 125 million, which was roughly 50 million more than the previous entry. However, it did make over $600 million worldwide. It was a huge success, the biggest one yet in the series. And so, of course, we knew that this series, not only was it able to hit the mainstream in a way it hadn't previously, but it was about to go into the stratosphere. One of the big things that happened with this film that the other films did not have was the introduction of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. At the time between this journey to the mysterious island, a couple years later when he had G.I. Joe Retaliation, this is when he was referred to as franchise Viagra. And I definitely think that he gave many a film goer a certain feeling when he came on screen just from how great he was. We got Ferris back. Hey, Ferris.
Oh, hey, Ferris.
Glad you're back with us. So, but why don't we just get things started here? We normally like to talk about stuff like best car first. However, this film is a lot of fun. And when this film is this much fun, what we want to do now is let's just start talking about our favorite lines. Because otherwise, we're going to quote it through the whole way through, and we're not going to have anything left to say at the end. So we want to start talking about our favorite quotes. But we have a lot of quotes that we definitely want to go through. I know Zach was very eager to talk about some. So Zach, you got a couple that you want to go through?
Yeah, so I'll just start off with, I think my favorite quote in the movie. It's a quick one. It's short. It's not super important or anything, but it's funny to me, and that's kind of how I like to judge what my favorite quotes are. And it is from the aforementioned Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. When they meet up at the big car get together wherever, and he yells at Dom, "You're under arrest," and Dom's like, "I don't feel like I'm under arrest." And Hobbs is just like, "Oh, just give it a minute. It'll sink in." And he says it with like this like very slight Southern twang to it that is not present throughout the rest of the movie.
Yeah, he becomes Samoan later.
And I'm just like, wait, what was that? Why did he say? Why did he say
during
it?
some bitch?
That first film, there's a lot of Southern twang. It's like,
I
I'm a cup for you, boy.
I just finished watching the movie before getting ready for this, and I was like, several times throughout the movie, I'm like, is he doing an accent? Because he's not sticking with it at all.
Well, right, because like half of the time he's just like pure hard ass, whatever accent that is. I'm not sure if that's an accent, but I'm calling it one. And then every once in a while he's just like, and now I'm Southern, and I'm like, oh, okay, works for me. But it really comes out in that line.
Not when he says boy, not when he calls Dom boy.
Whoa, is
Well, I mean,
we got nerds and
yeah, I mean.
What's
Look,
up,
Bateman doesn't know what he's talking about.
Bateman.
Thank you, Bateman.
This is my friend Alex from college. How you doing?
Movie.
Hey, Alex.
It's very good, though. I love it.
after Too Fast and Furious and
One
the
is
Fast
the
and
best
Furious?
film.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah.
The fifth one is the best film. Bateman is correct. Although he should know the third
best
one.
film.
So
Yeah.
Well, Bateman hasn't
they're all
seen
great.
Tokyo Drift, so
Yeah,
I
that's
do not take his opinion.
There are a lot of quotes in this film, so I think we'll do a little round robin on this one rather than just like everyone go in on their list. I'll go next.
I was gonna
just
say I've
'cause
got plenty
I'm
more,
eager.
but
Yeah.
I got it,
So one thing I noticed when I started writing down these quotes as I'm watching the movie was I could have filled up a whole page with just comments that were between Tej and Roman.
yep.
Their interplay, best by at least a quarter mile at a time. The things that they said to each other and when they were around each other, I thought were some of the funniest things. Or when here's one that I wrote that I thought was pretty funny. Was when Gal Gadot, Giselle, when she first shows up, and Tej and Roman come over because they're like, "Oh, look at that, an attractive woman." And Tej walks up and just goes, "Hey, sexy legs, baby girl. What time do they open?"
Yeah.
but I'm pretty sure that's Rome.
It was Roman.
That's Rome. That's
Rome.
Rome. Because Rome's the one who can't shut his
it was
mouth.
Tej.
Yeah.
No,
Roman says
because
that.
the response
Yeah.
is the same time to pull this trigger.
Yeah. Still want me to open them?
Like, when we
In
talk
Gal Gadot
about-
accent.
yeah.
One
When
of the
we talk
best things though
Too
about
Fast,
that,
Too Furious, Roman's crazy. He's
Yes,
crazy.
Roman is crazy. We know that.
Roman is
previous
legitimately
installments.
crazy. But one of the best things about that line, though, and the response was how Giselle pulled the gun out. And in previous films, they had repeatedly objectified women in a way that doesn't really gel much with films today, or at least the thought processes today. However, this one here, it has people that try to objectify, and the woman just fucking knocks back afterwards
Oh yeah.
to show that she's her own person too. And I like that a lot. But Ferris, how about you? We're gonna go.
Oh yeah. So okay. So I think it's because I just like the forcefulness of the way he says it. It's like mine is from The Rock as well. It's when they first get off of when they first land in Brazil, and the guy's like asking him like, what can we do to help? He's like I need two things. One, I need a translator. He's like, we have plenty. He's like, Elena Neves, a patrol officer. You heard me. Why? We have many experienced people. Like that's the first part. But then he's like, what's the second thing? He's like,
smile.
yeah, I like her smile. Then he says, what's the second thing? Stay the fuck out of my way. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, I wrote that down.
Exactly.
Yeah. So then there's another one of The Rock's quotes that I'll bring up when you guys come back to me.
All right, cool. John Knight.
Whew. I'm trying to think which one I want to do first. Of course, to The Rock. I think he's easily the most quotable bastard in this damn thing.
Yeah.
But I think what cemented me, I'll go with this one first, just because when he rolled in, he's like, oh, this dude's badass. And of course, a little hint of the Southern charm is when him and Dom meet up. And he's like, oh, you put your hands behind your back. And he's like, I don't think so. It's like, oh, you're mistaken to think you got a goddamn choice, boy. I was like, oh, that type of shit was like,
Yeah.
okay. All right, got it. Well, he's just dripping ounces of sweat the whole time, mind you. But it's like, it's utterly hilarious. But that was a complete badass line. I was like, okay.
Yeah,
got
that whole interaction is
I was about
entirely
to say,
quotable.
it
Yeah.
seems like we might go back and forth if we want to just focus real quick on just
This
that whole
is
interaction.
Brazil.
Oh, I
He
was
says,
just going to do that.
Thinks
Look
he's
at-
in America.
Whoa,
This
Zach,
is
come
Brazil.
on. Zach, guys, come on. Settle down.
Oh, I'm
Zach.
so sorry, John. I'm so sorry.
There'll be another day, boss. Another day.
It's too much
Matt?
firepower out here.
Right.
Well, quiz show. I'm like, I literally just, I'm like, I don't know how many I'm supposed to have, so I just left it at like 3, and they're all Tedgen
I
around.
wrote a whole list. You can't
There's-
see it because
there's
it's
endless.
Hey, man,
it's this long.
hey, man, if you're thinking what I'm thinking, I think you got one written.
So did he just like slap that ass,
Yes,
or did he
and
just
he's
grab
like,
it?
Just grab it.
And then there's a callback
And then-
to that too
and then they
with
do
me
a callback.
later on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but here's the thing. I love where he's like, she's like, there's the hamper, and he's like, you haven't answered the question. Yeah, he's like, you didn't.
When
That's
when he asked it the second time, you came like Roman's like, oh my god, are you serious? And then Ted's like, hold on a minute. Slap
Yeah.
that ass.
That ass.
Did he grab
Yeah.
hold of it?
Grabbing
And then
hold
when
of
they
it.
walk away and they're talking in the corner, I have the subtitles on, and you can't hear it
Yes.
necessarily, but in the subtitles it just says, "Did you ever hear the pullout method?"
Yes, you actually can hear it, and it's
Right.
Taz who says it, and it's so fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Listrina.
All right, I'm just gonna get out of the way. It's my favorite quote in the entire series. It's when they're all Vince comes back in to eat with them, and they gather around, and it's from the man himself, Dominic Toretto, when he says, "Well, it will come and go. We all know that. The most important thing in life will always be the people in this room, right here, right now. Salute, a mi familia." And again, it's just the essence of the entire franchise. Family, that's what's important. They're all family, even though they're all not related by blood. They go to war together. They ride together. They die together. I mean, obviously, Bad Boys. That's why, again, we need the Bad Boys and the Fast and Furious crossover right now. But that's my favorite quote, and I got a couple more, but I don't want to hog
Hey,
it.
Listrina, that was a really good Dominic Toretto impression, and part of that is I think his mumbling is like up
Yeah,
a
the
level
mumble
in this movie.
growl.
There's a scene where they're talking about their dads, and Brian's talking about I don't remember anything about my father or whatnot.
I remember
And
everything about my father.
Dominic says,
I remember
Dominic
everything
says,
about my father.
I remember everything about my father. And it's like, were those words? What I know what he said because from context, I know what he's
Growl.
supposed to be
Yeah.
saying, but it was literally just like you say, it's a growl. And I was like,
Right.
what on earth was that?
I love
Um,
that line. I know everything about
yeah.
my father. I was like, oh god. All right, man.
But I do have
I know
another
everything
quote
about
that
my
I
father.
actually love. And again, it's more of an interaction, and it's Dom and Roman, and it's after Roman is talking about like this is personal. Personal's not good business, and he's like I'm out, and he walks away, and then Toretto says like very loudly so that he can hear is like, so what we're talking is $100 million.
$100
And
million.
then
Hold on,
Rome
what?
just freezes and he's all like kind of discombobulated. And he's like, you say what? 100. Sometimes I'd be thinking we just met. And that is an incredible moment. And that's like pure Rome. That's like
Oh yeah.
the essence of Rome.
So here's another one because The Rock is pretty much endlessly quotable. Between like when
Absolutely.
he's not just doing like quotes that show how good at his job he is. It's like I want to be able to say one before someone else says one, but I also just have really fun ones I want to say, and I know that someone else might say it. So I'll just go with one that I really like. I'm going to do
Give me
two
the
real
veggies.
quick here because that's literally one of the ones I was about to say. Is
Oh, you
he's going
son
through the
bitch.
plan. He's getting the information. And he's like, all right, cool. Yeah. Now give me the veggies.
You know, I like
You
my
know, like
dessert
my
first.
dessert first.
But the other one is when they're inspecting the car that was stolen, when they're in the warehouse, and he's going through and he's looking and he sees the little pull out
Yeah, yeah.
radio TV screen, and he just goes, "It's a goddamn shame putting bullshit like that on a classic.
classic
Might as well slap neon lights
Neon
on
lights on it. Yes, that's great. Also, in that same scene where he goes, when they're like, "All right, boss, it's all put together," and he goes, "Turn it over," and I was like, "What?" Like, I understand, like that's a phrase to start a car, but that's like one of those jargon phrases that they always sneak into these movies, where you're like, no one's actually speaks that way. That's not the way people talk. But yeah, just related to that scene.
Ferris.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go back to one of my quotes. This is one of my comedic quotes. Like Matt said, the Roman Tej thing is hilarious. So when like Tej and Roman roll up to the crib and he's like, I guess consider your ass is here, and then he says, when are you gonna give Martin Luther King his car
God
back?
damn it, man! She just took my other two.
And then Tej is like,
When you gonna
just as
give Rick
soon
James
as-
his jacket
his
back?
jacket back. then him and then the famous like he tried like Gal Gadot pulls the gun on him afterwards, and then Tego and Rico like roll up and they're talking shit in Spanish. Then Roman's like, anybody can talk shit in Spanish, homie. It's like and then Don Omar's like, feo is feo in Espanol is English, like feo, too feo, too feo. Like they're calling each other ugly.
Night.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. I'd go by. So I was gonna do this one, but it's too simple. But I'll try another one, which is more of the intimidation factor for Hobbs. Is when he went down Dom's path a little bit. When he was talking about Brian and him, you know, on the run and all that, and it came at the end. It's just how he ended it. I was like, oh yeah, he wants the hands right now. You know, or the other man who beat a man half to death with a socket wrench. Yeah, real tough. I was like, oh shit. I was like, okay, well now you're tugging at the strings a little bit. Got it. He wants the ones right now, and I wanted to give it to him. So yeah, that was another one for me.
When he says socket wrench, dude, like the scene like just stops.
Yeah,
Like everyone's like,
even the music is like, dude. I was like, oh shit. All right, and then just right face to face. I was like, oh, so much tension.
That shit was awesome. Yeah, so much tension, so much baby oil. It was like just busting at the seams, man.
Right. I want to say an honorary one that's not on the film, but it was just so damn hilarious. They should have kept it. When it's Hobbs is when he first lands at the crime scene of like the train and all that, and he steps off the plane and they give him like the files. And behind the scenes and extended, he gives him when he walks away. He's like, "This is donkey porn. I don't need that shit." And he starts throwing it while he's walking away. It is hilarious. His outtakes of that film. Oh my god. Because give it to me. This is donkey porn. I don't need this shit. I was like, oh god. But yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Matt.
All right. Besides the one of mine that Ferris took, the other one I got is you know right after they put the explosive in and whatnot, blow up the bathroom, and Don Omar goes in. Doesn't comment on the smell of shit. Just says, "You used too much explosive again." I'm like,
what?
This place just was overflowed with shit.
Yeah.
And
and his response is hilarious too, because he goes too much, too little.
Same difference.
Same difference.
But also,
you're so negative, bro. You're always so negative, man. Always with the negativity.
But also, the inference you get from that is, hold up. When you say you use much explosive, you can tell because of the liquid from a toilet shooting out. Are you saying you've had to blow up a toilet previously, and you know
Those guys are
what is too
experienced.
much explosive versus not?
Yeah.
Oh, Listrina.
So I got one. It's between ZZ and Reyes after they pull all his money into the police station and safe. And then ZZ's like, you know, God himself couldn't get your money if he wanted to. And then Reyes is all like, hey, God isn't my worry. So he's literally comparing Dominic Toretto and his team to fucking higher than God.
Yes,
which
favorably
is
to God,
amazing.
which is
Like,
accurate. And I mean, as far as I can tell, but
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. And also, real quick, I also just love after when Vince dies and Tom's like, I got eyes on Nico now, and then just all we see him is just send him drop off a bunch of money. When they're gone,
Because I'll see you soon.
just out in the open, unzipped, like in the middle of their like kitchen table, whatever, and then just leaves the notes and never actually, as far as we know, doesn't actually hasn't met them.
right.
Right.
But it's also a
But
callback
Zach-
to when Vince earlier says, "I got eyes on Mia" to Dom,
Yeah.
Right.
and then he dies.
Zach.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, that's true.
Oh, are we doing more?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
if you have any more,
actually,
got-
because I have one where it's
Yeah,
like,
if other people have
Yeah,
some,
I
because I
was
think
gonna-
like
so, like,
basically
this is
all
the
of mine
point.
that I was going to do.
I was going to end up
this
doing
way.
one.
I just gave all mine.
round thing to like,
Okay.
if anyone had any more, because I had a couple. And I
yeah,
wanted to make
yeah. I
sure
remember that
so-
scene where they're all looking at the blueprints for the cop building or the police station. That's the cop building, the police station, right? And they're like, "Who the hell?" And then Roman's like, "Who the hell is supposed to get in and talk?" It's like, he's like, "What? Why me?" And then Brian comes like, "Because out of all of us, you got the biggest mouth." And then Tej, I love Tej's one line is like, "That is for damn sure," because like he's giving this. Yeah, but the way Ludacris says it is much funnier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So speaking of Roman and then the police station, there was like a three different quotes that are all within that one scene that I had written down because I liked it so much. Was when he pulls out his ID and he says like FBI agent Brian O'Connor, and it says that
Says
says
Caucasian.
Caucasian. He's like, oh no,
It's a
tan. It's a tan. But then after
So
that,
I have
when
a
he's-
question about that. About just real quick about with the ID, like why couldn't they
Yeah.
just make what if they have if Brian still has his ID? Why couldn't the template of it? Why couldn't they just make one that just has?
We don't
Don't
know
ask
if they had that
questions.
software.
Don't have
on
time.
there.
Stop
They don't have
asking
time, man.
questions. Don't
Yeah,
ask
stop.
questions.
Right.
Seems-
That's the
Stop.
first mistake.
And they have time to
Yeah.
to bring in a giant safe to practice.
Yeah,
on
but
it.
But when
Han
the
had
guy,
the hookup
when the
on
guy
that,
is like,
okay.
he's like, I'm
That's
gonna
right,
call
yeah.
the embassy. He's like, oh no, don't do that, don't do that. All right, here's the evidence. I'm gonna go. And then as he's walking away, he says, I swear to God, if you're on the other side of that glass, I'll fucking damn face and I'll translate that.
My favorite thing is
And
like
then he
when they
gets-
go back in the truck, or like not the truck, the van. He's like,
Yeah.
"It's done. See, I'll make a better special agent than you." He's like,
you.
Whoever.
"I guess it
Depends
depends
on what you mean by
on
special agent.
Special.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It was an official FBI ID, so like you probably want to have that on that. Just saying.
Yeah.
also
Yeah,
true.
I mean,
Yeah.
other than that, I mean, there's of course the one of the most badass lines in the whole film is, as we mentioned, I think like right before we went on air, was when Reyes survived getting out of the car from the car
Oh.
crash, and he says, "Help me." And then it's the most casual execution ever. Hobbs walking, just pulls his gun out and just caps him twice on the ground and says, "That's for my team, you son of a bitch."
Yeah. Just the casual double
Actually,
tap.
Yeah, just casual. I actually have two more from The Rock, where it's towards the end. He's like, "Toretto, I'll see you soon." And then Dom's like,
Oh, you son
"No,
bitch.
you ain't."
No, you.
No,
You took mine.
Oh, yeah. Oh. No, they're also like there's one scene,
Oh.
you know, more like they're hunting Dominic and Mia and Brian at the beginning, and they're rolling through the favela, and like all the residents are coming outside with their guns. Like they're all just like there's the Uzi, there's the shotgun, there's the assault rifle, and then Luke Hobbs is looking around, looking at him, so he's like, and like he pulls out his like custom made 44 Magnum, and they all just like run away, and he's like, "Thought so."
Yeah, his whole squad
Um,
just fucking pulls up and they're like, "Oh, never mind. We don't want that heat."
Well, these guys
wrote
are actually
this
trained,
other
know what they're
quote.
doing. No, thank you.
Yeah.
I wrote down this other quote from Roman. It was actually what he said, like right after Zach, what you mentioned, when they break down how much it is per person for $100 million, because Roman then says $11 million. Sounds like a whole
That's
lot of vaginal activity.
Yeah.
No,
There
we
is-
should roll
there
into
is-
the. Which rolls into the facts.
Go
Like,
ahead, Ferry.
so you have to buy vagina. That's sad, bro. That's
No,
sad.
he's saying you got money. Women are just gonna
Yeah.
flock to
They
you.
gonna
That's
come
that's
to
what
you.
that means. No.
Basically.
There is one quote by Han that I absolutely love in this film, and it's just it's so simple, and it's just because
It's
of
the
the
cock ring.
context of it. No,
Oh,
It's the watching her drive, and he's just like,
Yeah.
I think I'm in
think
love.
I'm
in love.
Yeah, that's so good. Especially right
Yeah.
because of the context of Tokyo Drift and whatnot. Like
Yeah, the
we
fact
know
that he's
sort
dead.
of where he's already come
He's-
from.
yeah, he's-
but I mean,
he's
he's not
dead.
actually there yet. But he did die.
Yeah.
So he's
And you
he's
see
dead.
her drifting,
So
and he's
it-
just like,
Yeah.
Right.
So hold on. Do you
Yeah,
guys
it's-
think she taught him how to drift? Wait, is that even possible? Giselle dies pretty soon. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
They could have done it in between, like
Yeah.
off screen
I mean,
on films or something.
right.
Yeah.
They were in
A lot
Tokyo.
of things happen.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of things happen in between each film. So, I mean, definitely. I mean, it's unfortunate that.
unfortunately,
I mean,
Hobbs and
it's
Shaw
nice that
happened.
we got to see. Yeah, I disagree, but anyways,
Right.
let's actually go on because I do want to actually go on to the next subject here, which is one that's kind of been stuck in my head since the beginning of Fast Five, and I wanted to talk about it. So we're going to talk about best stunt and just the best the best ones was and it will also tie into the final question.
We're still going to do best car
Because-
though, right?
Yeah.
At
Yeah,
some
we're
point?
still going to do best car. We're just not going in the
Okay.
normal order this time.
Okay.
Because the movie starts off showing how much bigger it is with the with
Immediately.
the they
Picking up right
immediately
before
start
we
off
left
by getting Dom out from that prisoner transport.
Yeah, by
But
definitely
then the-
killing all of those prisoners. By the way.
No,
They're
No,
all
no one
dead.
got hurt.
No,
It was
no, no,
directly-
No, no,
No,
no.
no.
The news
I wrote it-
report.
I wrote it.
The news
The
report
news
is
report
covering
said-
for
The news report said
catastrophe.
this.
Okay, they're all
and this
dead,
will
trust
tie.
me.
Just remember this when we talk about the final question.
Oh yeah.
They said,
Yeah.
amazingly, no
Yeah.
fatalities. All
Yeah,
right,
I don't believe them. Fake news.
That bus crashed like an unstoppable, like the train from Unbreakable.
Yeah,
all right, and no one died. That's a lot of Bruce Willis's on
That
one
was
bus.
wrecked.
It flipped
That was wrecked.
731 times.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
It was a
so,
lot. Yeah.
I mean, they're all chained to the ground and whatnot, right?
I
Yeah,
know
sure.
that might
That's a
help in
lot
that
of- that's a lot
scenario.
of whip-
They are
Whiplash.
chained. Yeah.
They-
Somebody got some
Let's also-
limbs or at least missing ones.
Yes.
A couple of
Yeah,
broken
but they did
wrists.
not go into
They
that
did a couple of
detail,
broken
but-
wrists.
Yeah, a
Remember
lot
what
of broken
happened
wrists.
to Sean Boswell in Tokyo. I mean, sure, he got some
Yeah.
like hot sauce on his.
He got hot sauce
but,
in his
you know,
eye for sure.
Yeah,
but
it was just hot sauce,
other
so it
than
wasn't
that-
blood. But yeah, he was fine.
Yeah, I mean, lots of stunts are really bad. A lot of them don't really end well. You know, Han, he died. But other than
100%.
that, 100%, he's dead, 100%. And
He's not coming back.
Never.
I think now what I'd like to see is if anyone thinks that there is a better sequence, of course, than the final big sequence, the actual heist of the actual
Of the safe.
of the safe.
Yeah, I
couldn't
mean
remember.
vault.
that scene is pure
Vault.
chaos, man.
Yeah.
The amount of
That is-
damage.
like,
It's
there's
hard
a
to
do.
top
video-
that.
There's a video of the stunt coordinator breaking it down for everyone. I think that video elevated that scene to a place where people were like, I can't believe because they built a car in the safe. Like it's a they chopped the pickup truck's body and they stuffed it in the safe and they had to bring in and then they found out it was too hot for the driver and they brought in like liquid nitrogen or not liquid nitrogen. Was it
Not
called?
nitrometh, I hope.
No, it's not nitrometh.
Yeah, no, that's
Only
what
pussy
this
is
good.
Yeah,
Only
Yeah.
pussies
like
on
like
nitrometh.
like
Look like the
hot
hood?
ice. Exactly. So there it's a guy driving the safe. They had two safes. They had one to drag and one to like throw into like buildings, and that's the guy driving. And they built that corner that the safe destroys.
Yeah, the
they
bank.
built that
One
just
to-
to get just
one to
for it
drive
destroy.
and one to throw. Even the safe had a
Yes.
stunt double.
Yeah.
Exactly.
To this
Safe
day,
has
that's Fast Five destroys the most cars like in an action sequence or film. Like
That
doing
is
stunts and all
incorrect.
that.
Yeah.
That is incorrect.
is
Have you
incorrect.
seen
Is
Fate of
it?
the Furious? Have you seen?
Although,
Fate of
but
the
were
Furious
those
with
real?
All
Yeah.
those cars.
Not all of
come
them
out?
were real.
No,
Not all of them.
the majority of them are real. When they do Fate of the Furious, you're gonna have someone who was on set for that as a part of the episode.
Yeah, because
no
because
future
the-
spoilers. Okay, I mean, some of us have not seen
Yeah.
past Fast Five, so I mean, come on.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
So
Lastrina
like,
just
that
watches the
one- that
movies
one
12
beat the
times
record
between
of saying like
episodes.
actually that is the most.
I mean, that's
Not
incredible
like
because-
destroyed on screen, but like actual cars being
Yes.
destroyed to film it. Yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
because in that final sequence of the chase, just on the bridge, there's like 14
lot.
cop cars or something like that he destroys, and that's just
What's
in
so
like the
funny is
last minute of
We're
the
watching.
chase.
I'm watching the scene, and Paulina's sitting there next to me. Paulina's my wife night, and
Gotcha.
as we're watching, she's seeing how the safe is causing car wreck after car wreck of all these cop cars smashing into each other. And she's like, "Oh, those poor police vehicles." And I said, "No, they're all corrupt. It's fine."
Yeah, it's all dirty cops. So
Every last
But
one
again-
of them, except for one.
Then
You
again,
have
last week.
you have every corrupt cop in Rio coming after you.
Yeah,
You're
but
good.
then again, last week in the 2009 Fast and Furious, she walks into the room during one of the scenes and she's like, "Oh, yeah, of course this movie is playing Pitbull. This seems like a Pitbull movie." And then the credits roll and it's a Pitbull song. And I just laughed.
That's hilarious.
Nah, dude,
But
okay, if we're not going to talk about the safe scene, I do want to bring up that
The car heist scene?
no.
Oh, that's what I was going
The-
to. I want
the
to talk about
train.
the car heist. Yeah,
That's the
yeah,
car
the
heist
train.
scene.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it is the car
you're
heist.
right.
When you
which
when,
is
when you
fucking awesome.
dude,
Yeah,
when
it
you
is.
find out that they paid $25 million for a train to destroy and 60-yard stretches of track, like train track, and they're like, you know what? Let's get this train and let's just destroy it. It doesn't matter. Well, you know, who cares? Like that when you find out like because it was all set pieces, right? It's complete set pieces. It's in Brazil, but they built a favela in Puerto Rico. Like they literally built their own favela in Puerto Rico. So like it was crazy. Like this movie's awesome. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because the budget of the film, not including marketing, is $125 million. So that insinuates that 1/5 of the budget was just for the train heist sequence.
Yes.
And I can see
It
it.
sets up the whole movie. You know, that's like it establishes right off the bat, like you had mentioned, that like we are full blown action franchise now. We are no longer like niche car junkie franchise. You know, this is a big blockbuster for everybody type of movie. And they establish that right off the bat.
Fun fact about that scene: the '63 Corvette, the replica that they used for that scene because they knew they were going to destroy it, made in Cleveland.
Nice.
Matt's from Cleveland, so he'll make sure to mention anytime anything is from Cleveland.
Damn straight.
He's even excited to be like, guess what? The Russo brothers film Cherry made in Cleveland. You don't have to be proud of everything, man.
No, I'm not. I'm proud we got the Russo brothers. I am not proud of Cherry.
Oh, I have not seen it.
It is real difficult to like just because of how great and how like the like just when people think of Fast Five, they think of the vault sequence. Like most of the time, they think of that big sequence. But if you got to think of like a stunt or an action sequence outside of it, one thing that actually came to mind, like because I love that heist sequence at the beginning. But one thing that I also really like is just the fist fight between Hobbs and
Oh, that was
Dom.
good.
And throughout the whole fight, I'm thinking to myself about the stories you've heard, how The Rock and Vin Diesel supposedly had in their contracts that neither of them were allowed to lose a fight. So I'm watching it thinking about like, all right, how are they going to break it up so none of them lose?
That's
And
after
technically-
Fast Five.
I was going to say, because technically,
The Rock
Hobbs
loses.
won that fight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dom
Yes.
Dom wins for sure.
Yeah,
Dom
Dom
won that
wins,
fight.
but
Which is the
if
only
I remember-
reason what's keep me from putting it high up, because it's completely unbelievable and bullshit.
Yeah, like how can like this government agent who's
Only because
trained
it's his
hand to
movie.
hand-
That's it.
Yeah, it's
He's
literally
the producer on it.
As a
Shit.
government agent, he has to show restraint, where Dom doesn't have to show restraint.
No, he
But
doesn't
he
show
still show
restraint.
restraint
No,
though.
what
Dom
restraint?
does show
Restraint.
restraint.
He does.
Nah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
and
I'm
like,
pretty sure Hobbs
yeah,
can-
hold on though. Hobbs
Hobbs
shows
can
no
fuck that
restraint.
thumb.
He
It shows
I was
no.
just about to say,
executes Reyes.
pause. If I remember correctly, only the Vin Diesel has that in his contract because Hobbs loses in Hobbs and Shaw.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
It's not losing how
and-
many hits. There's only how many hits they can take, and that was especially in Hobbs and Shaw, especially for him and Statham. But Ephraim
Statham, yeah.
can't get the ass beat too much in a film.
well, no,
because
Vin
of
Diesel
losing.
actually has it written into his contract that he can't lose a fight. Like he
That's
notice.
because he'll lose every fight that he actually supposedly comes into. So it's like
Vin
you have to make me look
Vin
good. and
Diesel
screw.
is the only sentient thumb to be cast in a Hollywood film, and he doesn't want to
Hey.
lose a war. It's
Blame Steven Spielberg. Blame Spielberg.
Yes.
blame
Watch.
Spielberg
Cast
for
him.
Vin. because of Saving
Yeah,
Private
it's a-
Ryan.
Yep,
Private
Saving
Ryan.
Private Ryan is what opened the doors.
Because
for Vin
because
Diesel.
of Strays.
to my dad.
Well, Stray's Vin Diesel pushed himself. That was Vin Diesel. He got
No, I
noticed
mean,
by
I mean
Spielberg.
that's Spielberg noticed Strays. is what I
Yeah,
meant.
Spielberg
Yeah.
noticed Strays, and
You know what? Vin Diesel is actually a great actor because he's nothing like Dominic Toretto. Like he's
Yeah, no,
absolutely
he-
nothing like
that is
this,
true.
Not at
this
all.
is
He's a big ass
this
Yeah,
is
have you
probably
seen the
the most
Pacifier?
passionate he is.
It's amazing.
he's like,
Fire.
yeah,
Great.
like
I'll-
seeing him in his interviews, they just throw me off. It's like, I just sang this pop song.
I was gonna
What?
say he's a pop superstar, dude.
I was just
Yeah,
about
you
to
ever-
say
you
that.
ever-
He's a great Instagram follow.
He's a
You
teddy
ever
bear,
listen?
dude.
You ever
Yeah.
listen to that? You ever listen to when he's sang "In the Dark" the entirety of "Stay" by Rihanna?
No.
Oh,
No.
yeah, I saw that.
He was there was karaoke and he's there like in the dark. You can't really see his face, and he's
Yeah.
singing a karaoke version along with of the entirety of "Stay" by
In a
Rihanna.
suit.
In a, and then last year
Classic.
during the pandemic, during quarantine, everyone's like, "What are we gonna do to pass the day?" And then Vin Diesel's like, "Let me drop 2 club beat songs.
Right.
Hell
Like,
yeah,
let me
dude.
drop
Feel like
2
I do.
songs. Feel like I do.
I just want to point
I'm
out.
gonna
Get
go
back
back
to
to one,
stunts.
Feel like I do. was
Okay,
a stunt.
Listerina.
Feel like I do was a stunt, and it's also a bop. But go ahead.
I was about to
It's-
say
it's
it's a
a low-key
slight bop.
bop.
It's a slight bop.
Yeah.
A slight bop.
It's a low
Specifically in that train scene when Brian jumps from and he's onto the truck and he's just hanging and swinging by the rope, no gloves on, which would probably just at that speed his hands would be completely shredded and cut up. But as we know, he's a superhero, so
Mhm.
he's good. But he's just dragging along like. Anytime like someone just hanging on, or it's very video gamey, very action sequence, Uncharted-ish kind of,
So,
as Jeff would understand. But
John, his
that
grip
sequence is
strength
really
was
fun.
established in the very first movie, though. When he's hanging on top of the Supra and they slide off the road, they drift
Oh.
off. That was my number one stunt from that movie.
That's
So
why
it
I
was
just said,
established.
as we
This
know,
dude-
he's a superhero.
Yeah, so I know that's great. So they're staying true to the
agree with you.
character.
It's
They're like
continuity.
this guy has grip strength. Okay, that's one thing we know
Yes.
about him. And Dom too. In the last movie, when he catches the chain of the engine dropping,
Yeah,
that's
I feel like
Right, that's what
at
his
this
powers
point
are
it's
working.
there's not a whole lot more to discuss in terms of like the action sequences and whatnot, because it really is the best sequence in the whole film is that
Possibly the whole
sequence.
possibly the whole series.
Possibly the whole series.
But the favela scene
Arguably.
was amazing, though. Like
Yeah.
that whole
Oh,
chase.
yeah.
The
Never
whole
When
changed
chase
him
was
and
awesome.
when Dom
They're
and
jumping through.
Yeah.
Hobbs jumped
It-
through at the same time, I was like, oh,
And
shit.
it's so funny
And Dom
'cause,
looks
like,
back in
Real
midair.
quick,
Right.
that
That's how you use
establishes
slow mo. That's how you
that
use
is
slow mo.
Yeah.
that establishes me as superhero powers because you're pregnant and jumping
Oh,
through
yeah.
fucking buildings.
That's true. She took a dive pregnant. I was
Early.
like,
early.
Very
Is,
true.
is it
Nothing
isn't
really
that,
developed.
isn't that a pretty good way to just say, oh fuck it, here's an abortion right away?
No, it's not really
Man.
developed at that point.
you know,
She
yeah,
was
I'm
still
not a
like,
it's-
doctor, so I
It's-
can't.
yeah, we
comment.
can't.
Right.
We can't really comment on that.
It's her choice. It's her body.
was
We're
gonna
not here
say.
to judge.
All right,
It
let's
was just a- it was just a
6'2"
little
talk
shake.
about.
But one last thing just about the favela sequence with the jumping. It's funny because you know how Listerina had mentioned, I want my Bad Boys crossover. In a similar type of location in Cuba, if I recall, in Bad Boys 2,
Yes.
Wi-
Yellow Hummer.
Mike, they just drove through the houses.
Yeah.
So I
Yes.
just find it
Yep.
funny, like comparing in a similar sort of slums location, the Fast and Furious crew, they'll jump and run across. And
Well, we've already
meanwhile,
done the drive-through houses in Tokyo Drift, so
Well,
that's old
I
news.
know that. Yeah,
Well,
you
we
know,
don't
you're
we don't
right.
have to do it
Well,
again.
well,
That's a
actually,
reshoot.
Well, Ben David
cocaine
hasn't
factories
seen that.
blowing
He
up
doesn't know
around
that.
them.
Hold
Ben
on,
David hasn't
hold on.
seen that.
It's not old. It's not old news if it hasn't happened yet.
Oh, you're right. Fuck. I
Yeah.
just-
Oh, that's true. Yeah, it's 2014.
Dude,
This
there.
is
that's in the
2000.
future. Shit.
This is 2009.
Yeah.
See what I did
No,
there?
because
Anyways,
they still have smartphones, so somehow Tokyo Drift is
Tokyo. They're
No,
lagging.
hey, man, but
in
here's
that-
guys.
In their neighborhood, they're
Remember,
just.
those flip phones transmitted the race
Yeah.
like they had some type of network
Right.
broadband that
Right.
transmitted every
Well,
single
hello,
phone.
A
don't you
neural
realize-
net made of cell
For the
phones.
future.
It's incredible.
Didn't you know that out of everywhere in the world, it's Japan that has that takes the longest to get to the newest technology?
That's
Right?
what they
That's-
say.
that-
That's the
That's what
old
they
saying.
say. That's the old saying. Anyways, on to best cars. So because we were just talking about driving, so it was harder this time for me to figure out my favorite car because it wasn't as necessarily car focused, but there are still some cars that are worth mentioning. Matt, let's start with you. Do you have a favorite vehicle that was used in this film? And it could be anything.
Oh, just
fun
go
one.
ahead. Save
it
the
could just be
65
one
Corvette. Do it.
It's a 63 Corvette, motherfucker.
Oh, sorry.
The 63 Chevrolet Corvette Grand Sport. And it's honestly, it's not even because of it being from
It's a
Cleveland. It's because
66.
I looked it up before this. It was 63.
So you tell me fandom lied?
Somebody lying.
Somebody's
Somebody
lying.
lying.
I read an article earlier about them making the car.
One of you two.
I ain't
Who's
it.
the liar?
Fair.
Google
But,
it right now.
Hey, fandom's a liar. You can, not me.
It says,
This is from
all right.
this
so,
is from Top
hold
Speed.
on.
Top Speed, a car magazine.
I trust it.
Some say 63, some say 66.
All right.
It was
We'll call it
produced
60.
in
And I was trying to
1964.
You know
Fine.
what? It doesn't matter. It's the grand.
It's a
sport.
sexy fucking car.
Yes.
Right. And I was trying to find the car wreckage of each one. Every movie is listed except for Furious 8. So I want to know how many was freaking
Oh,
destroyed.
shit.
I'm like, damn it.
No.
I know 350 was for Fast 5,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I
Yeah.
want to find out 8.
But yeah, that Corvette's just, it was the nicest car. It was sleek. I like, it broke my heart when I saw. I'm gonna be flat out honest. Fast 5 was the first Fast and Furious film I ever saw.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Not a bad
I
start.
had probably watched Fast and Furious and Too Fast, Too Furious 100 times each by that point.
Yes, me too.
Well, here. So I was, I want to say a sophomore in high school at that time when it came out. Yeah, I was a sophomore, and my dad had just started getting back into reviewing movies. He hated the first two Fast and Furious films. Never saw the third one.
Wow.
Then he got switched to sports because the paper was
This one?
rearranging.
Wow.
And then they started having to do movies and sports again, and my mom had no interest in it, so he took me, and he's like, I looked at the trailer, I'm like, okay, this looks okay, let's check it out. And then I left. I'm like, I bought the first one, I bought the second one, I bought the third one, I bought the fourth one, and I just fucking rode with it through there. And then my best friend John and I, hell or high water, we always try to make it in town. He lives in Orlando now, so I either try to go down to see, for Fast 9, I'm either going to go down to try to see him, or he's going to come up and see it with me. But yeah, so like we left for Furious 6 because that came out at the day of our mock graduation, our honors assembly, where they hand out all the scholarships. After that was over and they were doing the whole like little banquet and barbecue shit, we said, fuck this. And we went to go see Furious 6, even though we saw it the night before. So like,
Good choice. Good
Right.
choice.
A very good choice.
Very, very much so.
You're doing great things with your life, Matt.
but yeah, that's 63 Chevy.
Car.
That's beautiful, beautiful car.
Knight.
So I'm going to have to go. I'm not so much a car head off rip to know what all of them are listed, but I'm just going to go with the classic Charger. But that monster has never seen a set of taillights. That bastard right over there,
Yes.
just a classic, never go wrong. Even though
Mike,
it got
good
destroyed
quote,
like 50 billion times, right? It still comes back,
It's cursed.
but it's cursed, exactly.
And then fucking
for me,
Hobbs
that's
destroys it like a bitch.
right. You just made a big mistake. Oof. Good
Oh,
Lord.
yeah. We should have mentioned that during the quotes. That was a good quote.
Yeah.
Should have. Going down, Toretto. I'm right here. Oh,
Yeah.
yes, sir.
There are a lot of quotes that we didn't get to because
Yeah, you're right.
Would have been here all night.
We would still be on quotes, and it's like 45 minutes in.
It would
Yeah, I mean,
get to
yeah.
the point where we're just quoting lines. Like fuck the
Yeah.
quotes, just lines.
I
Right.
realized that when we're
Yeah.
circling around, I'm like, oh man, we're yeah.
Let's just divvy up
since I'm-
parts. All right.
Yeah.
I'll be
Since
Mia.
I'm not a car,
be Dom.
since I'm not a car person, I just went by. I went through the utilitarian approach of what was the best, what worked out the best in terms of like its use. So I went with the 2010 Dodge Charger SRT 8. The Dodge Chargers are the cars that dragged the vault.
Yeah.
And I watched that and I'm like, those cars,
Matt.
Fucking
specifically
beats.
the one,
Yeah.
specifically the one that Dom used, because after he detached Brian from it, he was still able to use it with the aid of some
Power
NOS
of
that he
NOS.
had in there. The power of NOS. It's funny because I'm watching it and I'm just like, this is awesome in my head, and then I see him switch the Nas, and I'm like, I think to myself, of course he put fucking Nas in there. Like it didn't even occur to me that Nas hadn't shown up yet in the movie until he used it.
I mean, the best part of that scene though is that he hits the Nos while his wheels are spinning, which I mean, for any physics folks out there, that's not going to help you. Getting those wheels to spin faster. If they're not gripping the ground now, they won't grip it if you spin them fast.
Well, the thing is though, it's not about making them faster; it's about making them furiouser. So,
yeah, that's actually true. That's a good point. I didn't think about that.
And also, I don't know if you realize this, but even if the films aren't necessarily superhero films yet, they do not abide by the laws of physics. So bringing out physics to this doesn't really do anything other than just kind of fill the air with other things we could be talking about. So actually, I think you detracted from the conversation by bringing in physics.
Yeah, the cars are also equipped with like 37 gears, I think. They can downshift anytime they need to.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
the two car, I actually have two cars. Because one is like a specialty car, and the other one is like is only on for like a little bit. It's the car that that Vince steals. Like so I decided to like I looked that car up. It's a 72 Pantera GTS.
Who steals?
Vince. Like Vince goes.
He's the first one to leave in the house.
Yeah, well, he's the first one. Like the one that says the throne on it. Like that one looked nice. I like the way it was. Yeah, Vince Europe. And the other one was Luke Hobbs's special made baby tank, or whatever that thing is called.
Yeah,
that shit is
truck is great.
Harris, you should see that shit in person. You should see that shit in person.
That was my first choice, but I was like,
yeah. So like the way like it's awesome. Like the way it's like, you know, like my favorite thing is like when they're driving after they caught everybody, and every car is like the two like whack cars are like just jumping, but like the one in the middle is like the special car. He's like it hops a hill and it's like in the air and like smacks it and just bounces, and I'm like, this is crazy. And then when he like straight up T-bones Dominic's car, like it snaps it in half, like it just straight up snaps. I was like, damn, I want that car. That's So those are the two cars I like.
Hold on, what did you say the second one was?
Hobbs is like special. Government vehicle.
Yeah.
It comes out, and then like the chief of police is like, "Do you really need all of this to apprehend two men?" Like, because that big ass car is.
yeah, for sure.
I was about to say, is someone breathing in their microphone like really heavily?
You can't breathe. I mean, stop breathing. Whoever is breathing, please stop. Just please stop breathing.
Yeah, just
Zach doesn't want you
John,
to live.
Hold your breath.
Survive.
Lustrina, what about you when it comes to favorite cars?
My number one in this film is another Dodge Challenger. It is the 2009 Dodge Challenger. At the end of the film, that Dom acquires before. At the end of the film, when he goes to meet up with Brian and Mia, before that he races with Brian when Brian has the 2010 Nissan GTR.
Got you. On the beach.
Yeah. At the end scene.
That's how we roll.
Yeah, that's my favorite. Those are my two favorite cars, but it would probably be the 2009 Dodge Challenger as my favorite.
Yo, speaking of that, man, it reminds me of a quote. Remember that quote where they're like, a $1 million quarter mile, and then he looks at Dom. He's like, Dom, you ready? He's like, are we talking or are we racing?
Damn, I can't believe no one said that.
Because Tej is like, or Roman's like $100,000, and
Han is
like,
Han's like, $1 million. If we don't pull this off, we're dead anyway.
Yeah.
My favorite thing is like, yo, Dom.
Yeah, owned you.
You're gonna cheat. No, he was like, you gonna cheat again? And he's like, bro, you gotta let that go. Come on.
Yeah.
You gotta let that go.
Told you didn't see it.
Yeah, told you didn't see it. He let up the gas.
My favorite part is in Rome. It's like, oh man, he's so excited with Brian. But he's like, then he's like, he let you win.
Win nothing.
Right.
Then Brian's like, what?
Told you.
Oh shit, that was a baby gift.
Yeah.
I have no idea what they're talking about.
If we just stuck with quotes, we'd still just be reciting.
Yes.
Basically, should have just pulled up the whole script and just
Right.
read it.
We should have just read it. We
It's
just
a table read.
Yeah.
That's it. It's a table read.
Yeah,
That's
I
what I'm
mean,
saying.
absolutely.
Video parts.
next week,
I
let's
agree.
just get Megs for next week to keep us on track. I mean, she'll keep
Yeah,
us on track.
absolutely. And Zach would definitely be Mia. So Zach,
Yes.
what
You want to know what the
What's
best car
your-
is?
yes.
Let me tell you what the
Mia's
best car is.
car.
Is it cheating if I just say the same car I said last time because the scene that it's in is the beginning of this movie? It's Mia's 2003
I knew
Acura
you.
NSX.
I knew it.
It's
I knew
incredible.
it.
Bullshit.
It was incredible
Bullshit.
then.
That is a
incredible
sexy
now.
ass car.
Fuck you. I
That is
knew
a
you were gonna
sexy
do
ass
this. I
car.
knew it. I
Pretty good-
knew
it's a
it.
pretty
I
good
knew it.
Okay, look,
I
if
knew
that's cheating and I'm not allowed to have
I
that
accept. I
I
accept
have-
that.
I
one,
accept
I have
it.
That's beautiful.
backups, okay?
Hey man, the Ford GT40.
so-
The reason the movie
Oh,
started
dude,
anyway.
the 1965 Ford GT40. That's the next
Yeah, that
best
one's-
car. That's an
yeah.
incredible car. At one point, I was hoping that The Rock was going to try to get into that car. I'm wondering if maybe that was in the script at some point. But
Just to see if he
100%, The Rock cannot fit in that car.
No, when he
I
looked in the
promise
car,
you,
when he
He'll
looks
also
in the
get
car,
motion
and I'm like,
sickness.
I thought in my head when he pokes his head in and he's looking right before he pulls
Yeah.
the thing out, I'm like, he's gonna get in there, isn't he? He's not gonna fit. And I think that they probably contemplated it until they realized, no, he
can't
needs
fit.
to look badass, and if he tries to get in there, it's gonna break the illusion that he's cool.
No, he has motion
Okay.
sickness too much. Did you guys know that in Hobbs and Shaw, the whole action sequence with him, Shaw, and his sister, where Idris is chasing him in the little supercar or whatever? You know, The Rock is not in that bitch at all. He's digitally
really?
placed in the car that whole scene because he couldn't sit in it and do everything because he was getting motion sickness. So he's digitally added
And
into
he's
that whole
supposed to be
scene.
Black Adam. That's great.
Wow.
Okay, hold on. Before we get
I
off,
didn't
the
know
cars,
this.
though, I do
I
have.
didn't know
Remember,
Hold on,
this
I
is
do- I
Fast
do have
5, no
another-
future films.
Yeah, another favorite car, which is now there's two of them in here, and that is the 2010 Koenigsegg CCXR, but specifically Rome's. Rome's is better. Okay, they're
Rome's
the
is-
same. They're the same like make and model, but Rome's has the sort of like matte silver kind of like carbon fiber maybe finish on it.
Tej
Whereas
is better.
Tej-
Tej got
Tej's
two.
is
more.
Oh,
black.
at the end.
Tej's is black with like white trim on it. I don't know. It looks kind of like trash, honestly. If you're gonna get a supercar, like that
Black
paint
is
job
better.
is not it.
No,
So-
I preferred Rome's color as well. That whole
Yeah.
scene, another group of quotes that would have been a lot of fun. It's like, I got the only one in the Western
Yeah.
Hemisphere.
There's only
Guess-
four of these.
Guess what? There are two in the Western Hemisphere.
It says I met
And also,
somebody
Tej
in
had
Abu
two
Dhabi,
ladies in
made
his
him an
car
offer
when
he
Roman
couldn't
only had
refuse.
one.
No, yeah,
Yeah,
I met
that's
a, I met a,
true.
I met a
Tej had two.
sheik. I met a sheik in Abu Dhabi, and I made him an offer. he
Made
couldn't
an
refuse.
offer he couldn't refuse.
You know what's crazy?
We
Like,
can be fly together.
yeah, it's like, dude, you're a wanted criminal. How did you just fly to Abu Dhabi and then come back to America?
Right? Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
pretty
That's
much,
what that means.
dude.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Money.
All right.
Good
So
point.
now we're gonna go on to one that has, I think that for some of us, it has actually been a pretty difficult thing to try to choose, and that is who we might believe the MVP is of this film. Not just the MVP of the film. Possibly, we could say it's MVP of the family, or you could say MVP of the film because, for instance, if you were to say Hobbs isn't in the family at this point. So, or unless you wanted to say something like Reyes, in which you'd be fucking whacked out of your mind. But
Hey, dude, he takes care of the people in the favelas. Okay, he gives them things
Dude,
that they
dude,
otherwise wouldn't
bro, that
They have no
scene,
choice because he has all the
Dude,
money.
have. Man, I'm
that-
just saying, he
that
provides things for
scene,
them.
bro, is
He
so
gives
like,
schools for their
Does he?
children. Okay,
Does he really?
gives them
Does he
clean
really?
water.
that scene is wild. Like the way he's like, I prefer the methods of the
Control.
Portuguese.
Yeah.
I'm
So,
like, this dude.
That's also a great just sort of speech by him when that the one moment where he's actually a character, his one whole like actual moment is when he's just
He's like,
pouring
I think
drinks
your
or-
methods are
yeah.
too violent.
Yeah.
Let me tell you a story. The Spaniards and the Portuguese came to Brazil, and the Spaniards
gonna
came
read
in
the whole
guns
story?
blazing. Yeah, probably.
Right.
All right, just I'll say.
All right, let's get back to
Go for it.
MVP.
Yeah.
yeah. Knight, what do you got for who you believe the MVP
All right.
is?
So you said it has to be from the family, like the core family?
Well,
Or
it could be anyone.
It could be anyone. Like what the original intention was, who's the MVP of the family? But now we've kind of expanded to there being major characters that are outside of the family. So if it's not a
Yeah.
family member, then just
I
you know,
think
it
I
doesn't
ruined
matter.
that in the very first episode when I picked Brian as my MVP. So
Yes.
Because
and
he
it's
wasn't really a family
definitely
member. He wasn't.
it's definitely Hobbs for me. It's most definitely 125 billion% Hobbs. He came in, he wrecked shop, he made a mark, he literally revitalized the franchise from there on out, and it's like he gave that film just life. Every time he came on the screen, he lit up, and it was hilarious. It was badass. It was awesome. He was a one-man mission. I was like, listen, I'm just here to pick up two assholes whose names came across my desk. Like that's it. Like that's my mission. I'm here for that. And he was like a wrecking ball throughout the whole film. So he was damn sure MVP. Got cheated in the fight because it wasn't his movie, but it's all right. It's all right.
You know what's crazy? We should. The one good thing Facebook ever did was get The Rock casted in this film, because on Vin Diesel's Facebook, he asked him, "Who would you want to be in these films?" On his official Facebook page, it's like, "Who would you want to be in this?" And like a bunch of people on the post said The Rock. Yeah, put Dwayne Johnson in the film. Put Dwayne Johnson in the film. He's like, okay, and then they wrote the apparently he
It was
tells
almost
now,
Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah, the character was supposed to be Tommy Lee Jones, but then they're like, let's replace Tommy with The Rock.
Yeah, that makes sense. They
that'd
just
be a very
Really
different
awful.
movie.
make
Very
this a
awful.
low-key spin-off in the same universe as The Fugitive. I'm down.
Yes.
Right.
Just
And US
Gotta find
20,
Dominic Toretto.
25 years too late.
Yeah, 25
I didn't
Yeah,
kill
so-
my wife. I don't
Right.
care.
I don't
I
care.
don't care, son. We gotta
Well,
find Dominic
so-
Toretto.
So Facebook did
Bring
a
back the
good thing.
janitor. Let's do it.
That's it.
And now they
Finally.
fucking hate each other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now they hate each other.
Apparently they made up.
Beautiful story.
Apparently they
Apparently
made
Oh
up.
yeah, they sort of have made up. So we'll see what happens in the future.
You know what's
It's all
crazy?
Tyrese
Who knows? It could be.
being a
It could all be
little
PR.
bitch.
It's Tyrese.
Now-
It's
Right.
Tyrese.
And
Now
the Rock
Tyrese.
tied it back. He tied
I
it
just
back.
want my
Too soon,
baby.
Toretto. And Instagram.
Tyrese
tied it
has
back.
his own issues that it's hard to like.
I just want my baby.
He might have other issues going on.
Facebook
He can
did
kick
it.
rocks.
I ain't in it.
Facebook
Right.
did it again. It casted Jason Statham in the series as well. He asked the exact same question: "Who else would you want to be in this film?" And everyone's like, "Jason Statham." And then they made Jason Statham in the film. I was like,
Yeah.
wow, just
So,
Okay,
anyways,
we gotta wait a
you
movie
know
to
what?
get there. So
oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
We'll
sorry.
get to that at some point.
Jason Statham is
up
not
until
in this
now.
universe.
But
He's not.
Ferris, since,
No.
who do you find to be the MVP of the film?
It is Hobbs. It's Hobbs. Because like no one in the it's like no one in the family like stood out. But then like as a collective, they were awesome together. But you know, like what Hobbs did for the film, what The Rock did for the film, kind of like outweighs what like the individual members did. Because you know, dude, like legitimately, like I said it earlier, when he jumps out, like John, like Knight said, when he jumped out of the window, and then Dom is also jumping off the roof, and then they're in slow-mo. Zack Snyder, that's how you use slow-mo. And they just like, and they just like they're slowly falling, and then when they hit the roof, like they hit the roof, and then they both look at each other like they just saw it, like you know, like
roll
Doug
and
from
spit.
Up. Yeah, like Doug from Up when he saw a squirrel. They saw a squirrel and they both looked at each other, and then they like ran after each other. And then like when like he jumps and like the guys are about to shoot Dom, and then The Rock just jumps out of nowhere and just like tackles two of them. Here's the scene that no one was talking about. It's three dudes. He tackles all three dudes, grabs the gun, kills one dude with the gun, pulls out his knife, stabs the dude in his head, and then
Yeah,
pulls
it's
out
better
the knife.
unedited.
Yeah, and then like he grabs the dude's head and like snaps the dude's neck. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is violent. I love it. He's the
Yeah,
MVP.
He shot that guy in the head like probably 6 times point blank.
Yes.
He did.
That
And
would
the
have been a
extended.
gruesome.
The blood
That
was
would have been a
like-
gruesome scene.
Yo,
Yeah.
I have the extended edition.
I have the
You see
extended.
blood.
It's much, yeah, it's
Yeah,
much more
yeah,
graphic.
yeah, unfortunately, we couldn't watch the extended version on Saturday night because Zach didn't want to. He needed
Yeah,
an
it's not
extra,
because I didn't want to. It's because I
minute.
already own the regular version.
See, I bought the extendeds on Vudu, so thank God.
Bro,
But you guys do like
Um,
watch along
and I
things to
get
this?
They do.
They've been
yeah,
doing
a few of
watch
us do.
alongs to prepare. Like I end up watching. Like I watched this afternoon, like this evening before this.
To be
show.
fair, I think we
So-
both end up rewatching it again during the week anyway. So
Yeah, because
Dude,
Yeah.
like, that's awesome. Do that.
Yeah.
yeah,
it was
after
fun
the
to
show,
watch
watched,
it together
we
with
watched,
other people. Yeah.
You ought to get it.
Yeah, we watched Tokyo Drift together one time. I watched it at work with them.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, they watched it in preparation for the episode on Tokyo Drift. So
Yeah.
I'm going to go next because it sounds like there's a lot of
crime.
support for Hobbs. Hobbs is great. Hobbs is real cool. A lot of people are real fun, but I gotta say, and it might be a left field choice. I'm going to say Giselle, and here's why.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Right?
that's okay.
Who shows up and puts the other new members of the team in their place the moment she arrives? Giselle. Who's the one that actually obtains Reyes's fingerprints?
Diana.
Giselle. Who's the one that actually gets the vault to safety?
She's the
Giselle.
driver she's driver of the garbage truck. You're right.
Who's the one that steals Han's heart? Giselle.
Han, didn't he die?
Yeah, he's
dead.
dead.
He's dead now.
Yeah, he's dead.
He's dead now. This is in the past. This movie takes
What?
place in the past. But
Oh,
in
no,
the
Han's
past,
dead, dude.
we do know that Han's
he's
dead,
dead.
now.
We saw him blow up.
Han's dead now.
It was so weird.
Yeah,
It was
he
like
blew
a
up,
This movie,
burned.
It was a
this movie, which is
hologram.
of course
It was a
this movie,
hologram.
which is of course historical record. It happened in real life. Now we know that in real
all
life,
dream
Han's dead.
sequence.
But
It was a
beforehand,
dream sequence.
in the past, when Han was alive, he was in love with Giselle. And we got to see that budding romance because she did everything she could to make cool, calm, and collected Rusty from Ocean's 11 Han over there eating in every scene. Just fall head over heels while she's putting everyone in their place, doing the job that they do, but way easier. Because
And she was the
why
only one
send
to
a
show
man
them how
for a
to
woman's-
drift
for a
across the
woman's
blind
job?
spot. So
Yeah.
that's also
Although
true.
she still didn't quite.
Yeah,
third
she still
camera.
got caught
But
by
she
the
was
camera
still-
camera.
right.
Yeah,
She was the
camera two.
closest.
Yeah. I'm just saying, the work
The way she
did
dresses, the way she dresses
was
Han down is
it
hilarious.
was she left the least amount of mess. She got in, she got out, she did her job, she did it well. She had no one come after her afterwards. She did her job right,
on.
and she took over from when other people couldn't do theirs.
Hold on. When they were tracking all the money houses, they're like, "Yo, car number 1 on the move.
She didn't say
Car number 2
shit.
on the move."
I
She
know,
just
didn't
hopped on
say
her
anything.
motorcycle and took off. Why didn't she call it in? Why
Right.
didn't she call it
You know
in,
that
Jeff?
she did.
She's a badass.
She didn't call it
She
in.
doesn't need
She
to.
didn't
She
call
doesn't
it
have
in.
to. Because
Okay.
everyone knew that it was already happening. Doesn't matter.
No, because we catch back up. We're like, car 5 is on the move.
That was irresponsible, but she's a
Yeah.
badass. She doesn't have
Yeah,
to.
she's a
even
badass.
all the guys when she said, "Why send a man for a woman's job?" The woman was able to do it silently. She was able to take care of it without having to cause anything. She didn't have
Right.
to say a word.
Cue
Yeah,
slow-mo.
I mean, she said something. I'm pretty sure.
Han needed like an extra
Now-
couple of guys. She did it
Now,
all by herself.
I almost jokingly, with an air of truth to it, but not really. I almost jokingly went with Monica Fuentes because she
Oh,
revealed that Letty's
thought
not
about it.
dead, guys.
I
Letty's
thought
not
about
dead.
it. Do you believe in
Letty's not
ghosts?
dead.
All right, hold on.
She was
That
in
should've been a
Germany.
quote. Damn it.
She's been with people jacking cars. She's been doing jobs.
So yeah,
If it ain't Toretto, I
We
don't want
wouldn't
to
have
see
known
it.
that.
Right.
We wouldn't have known that without Monica Fuentes. Anyways, Zach,
Eva Longoria,
Or no, let's
your
go with
career
Matt. Let's
fell
go with Matt.
apart.
Matt,
Eva Mendes.
Eva Mendes, sorry, same
Yeah,
difference.
not
They-
Eva
both of the-
Longoria.
Yeah.
both of the careers fell apart.
Same,
It don't
yeah,
matter.
same exact career.
Not actually. Eva Longoria became a producer. She produces now.
Eva Longoria has
We're
done all
talking
sorts
about
of
their.
stuff.
I'm talking about their acting career, not
Good point.
behind the camera.
No, good point. Yeah. Do you know Eva Longoria is a main producer on John Wick?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Which
This is-
always blows my mind still, but hey.
Hey,
like seeing the
there's lots of
credits
weird
and
producers.
seeing-
There's
yeah.
lots of weird stuff. Like Michael Douglas is an Academy Award winner because he produced One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. So I mean, there's weird producer credits like that all the time. But Matt,
Very true.
who is your MVP?
I know it sounds cliche, but I'm actually going to say Dom.
Okay,
Oh, okay.
it's not cliche when no one else said it.
Well, I say cliche because like he's the star of this franchise. No, it's the
Well,
sacrifice. The sacrifices he's willing to make throughout the film just to do what he needs to get done, even though everyone's trying to stop him too, and they do to certain points, right? But he still is just trying to look out for all of his people at the end of the day, and you got to respect it. Like, he's got a great. And we mentioned that fight scene between him and Hobbs. The restraint he ends up showing because he could kill Hobbs right in that second, and he doesn't
Mm-hmm.
because he's trying to show I'm not this guy that you think I am. So just reasons like those, why I'd say Dom.
Interesting.
Nice.
Latrina.
Should have come.
Okay, so clearly I'm the only one with the correct answer. The MVP of Fast 5 is Elena Nieves.
Oh, okay, good. I thought you were going to
Okay.
take mine for a second.
Elena, the one.
I considered her
the
also.
one. Zach, whoa, I'm sorry. Zach, this is my time, Zach.
Yeah. Go for it.
Zach, please, Zach, you'll have your time. This is my time, Zach.
I reclaim my
This is
time.
my time. Elena Nieves is the MVP. She's the one good cop in Brazil. Clearly,
The only
entire
one.
The whole
Brazil.
country.
The only one.
The big ass
It's
country.
Rio.
Always
not
willing.
Brazil.
She's ready to go in. She's ready to go in. You know, Hobbs, where do you want me, Hobbs? You want me? All right, I'm ready to go. And he's like, no, you wait here. Okay. She takes care of the necklace, which we'll find out later what the meaning is. And then she's the one that is able to free when finally, the team's captured, she releases them.
Who's being slaughtered.
And so she's the one that is responsible for the union of the mega powers of Dom and Hobbs.
Y'all saw that? Y'all saw that,
The
dude?
mega
That was,
powers.
that was like they didn't
no,
shake hands. They straight up
I
did like
disagree, but
Here's where I'll
And
push
she
back.
takes down the corrupt police chief.
She let Dom go when she
Right.
originally had caught him, and because of everyone else, she let him free.
Mm.
Hobbs also ended up letting him free. I don't think that she's an MVP because of that. I think that Dom has shown time and time and time again that every time he gets remotely close to a law enforcement officer, somehow they all fall for him on some scale of friendship to more and let him go. It is something about
Yeah.
Dom.
Keep in mind,
Here's the thing.
keep
No,
in
no, she
mind
didn't let
by
him go.
proxy.
She didn't let him go.
Hold on. Keep in mind by proxy, your argument makes Hobbs the MVP because she wouldn't be anywhere near this unless he pulled her ass in.
Wait, no.
Hey.
She's already her
literally
being the
could've
MVP
declined.
is why Hobbs selects her.
She doesn't
I think,
work. She
you
doesn't
can
work
go either way with that.
for Hobbs.
No, but
She
here's
We
the
haven't
thing.
seen
work
anything
for
yet
the Rio de Janeiro
Here's the
Police
thing,
Department. So
here's the
she
thing.
could have declined.
He doesn't-
Before
She's
Hobbs.
following orders from her corrupt police chief.
That's true.
Is
And
assigning her
she
to that
doesn't let
job.
him go.
Hobbs
Orders
she does
because
not have
Hobbs
any
requests her.
association to the DSS until the end of the film.
Guys,
If
guys.
Hobbs does not
Do you,
request
you
her,
don't,
she
you don't
plays
understand
no
how
part in
those
this
bureaucracies
whatsoever.
work?
Guys, we're all family here, all right? All family.
She doesn't let him go.
It's like
they're
taking
being shot up.
Indiana Jones out of Raiders of the Lost Ark. Unfortunately, shit still happens without him there. You can pick any other non-corrupt cop, and the shit's probably still going to happen the same way.
But she's the only one. That's why she's the MVP.
She's literally the one there.
We,
She
the only one that we
her
met.
job.
That doesn't mean that she's the only one.
Hey, her and Dom did have a great scene together in the house. I'm trying to remember the quotes, kind of forgetting, but they had a great scene.
Oh, you mean the
It's
scene
like, why
where he
risk it for
definitely-
$20 worth of silver?
You mean the scene
Because
where
it's
he
worth it.
definitely impregnated her?
Again,
Is
she's
that
also
scene where
the
he
one
impregnated her?
is directly
Oh,
responsible for
that's-
Luke Hobbs
No,
being
impregnated her
he was
with
about
his
to get
ex.
popped.
Look,
It's later.
the one they're meeting, the
It's
one
the
that when she
next
goes back to get the necklace after he takes it, she's in the house. He's talking about the
Yeah.
husband and
That'd be a fast ass.
damn, there was one line that was amazing between them. That was like because it was like signified them to both knowing what it means to lose somebody. But I forgot what the line was. I was like, damn, it was so good.
That's why we
this
write
is-
them down.
Mrs. Chris Hemsworth, everyone.
Right.
Oh, she's married to Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
his
That's Pataki.
Wife and mother of his kids.
Pataki or some shit.
Pataki.
Pataki.
Giselle something.
Apparently, there's a story. She had to fly onto set to be like, "Yo, back off my man, Tessa Thompson."
Oh,
like,
wow.
yeah, I don't know if it's true.
But she did
I don't-
fly
I don't-
back into Thor: The Dark World for the after credit scene where Thor comes back and kisses Jane from the Bifrost or the end scene. That's not
was-
Natalie Portman. That's
Yeah,
his wife.
That's his wife. They put a wig on her and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
very strange.
That's
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, and I was probably
It's
because
Natalie
Natalie
Portman. It's not that
She
strange.
didn't,
She's
she
an
didn't give
asshole.
a shit.
Yeah, because they filmed her part and she wasn't available to film the from behind shot day, and he's like, "Well, let's use my wife." And he kisses his wife,
Yeah,
Right.
the real
That's weird.
passion.
Ferris.
who,
Ferris.
by the way, her best friend plays the foster mom in Shazam.
Very cool. Ferris.
Nice.
What's your
He's already said his.
I said Luke Hobbs.
Oh
said
yeah,
Hobbs.
that's right. I'm
We're on
sorry, I'm
Zach.
sorry.
Zach is
I haven't
left.
said
Yeah,
mine yet.
Zach. I'm sorry. For whatever reason, I thought I skipped.
Zach
Ferris.
doesn't matter.
Zach.
So why'd
Zach-
Zach say? Why'd Zach say Tego or Rico?
Zach.
He's
Zach.
gonna-
why
he's
is
gonna say
yours Mia?
Vince.
Okay.
Why
Oh,
is yours
All right.
Mia?
So, dude, fuck Vince. Everyone knows I'm a
Watch your
classic
fucking mouth.
Vince
Say
hater.
Vince, I'd have to come
Okay.
fight you.
No,
I've hated
bro,
Vince from
Vince-
day one.
Vince he was right. Why
He's
you
trash.
hating? He
Vince
was
is
right.
trash. He's always been
He's
trash.
trash.
You embarrass me.
He
You
tried
embarrass
to
me.
Exactly.
He tried to
Right.
double
You
cross.
embarrass me.
Fuck
Should have
you.
come clean.
Exactly. I almost wish I didn't see that.
Right.
That
Almost,
line,
almost.
there's always room for family. I'm thinking Vince isn't no fucking family anymore.
No, dude.
You
Put
know,
him
turn
over.
your back on
Y'all,
family.
y'all hatred for.
Okay, hold on. Let me say my fucking MVP.
I'm found
Why is it
So,
Mia?
Here's
Why
the
is it
thing.
Mia?
Because
Yeah,
she's
why?
carrying Brian's child, okay? She's
Good
bringing
Jack.
another member of the family into this world.
So your
Hold on,
argument for MVP is biology.
hold on. Stop. All right,
argument
Mia's
is
not my actual
genetics.
MVP. Everyone just knows I love Mia, okay? She's not my MVP.
Oh,
So this movie, there's a couple things. One, all of the family members had like pretty even roles in this, right? They all did their thing. They all had something special
good
about them.
ensemble this time.
Now, the other thing that's interesting about this movie is that you can clearly started with a premise, and they started with a list of returning characters that they wanted to have, and those things did not mesh with each other. So what they did instead is they just had the characters just tell you that they had a life before we knew them, and now all of a sudden they can do anything they want. And the person who got the biggest upgrade of all, and is therefore the MVP of this movie, is Tej Parker.
Yeah,
Yep.
Okay.
Oh,
Tej
coming a
Parker
mile away.
is
That is a great pick.
in the first movie he's like a mechanic, a bookie. Like I'm not sure.
First
He's just
movie
kinda like-
he's in. First movie
Upgrade.
he's in.
Yes, sorry,
fact-
yes, the first movie. Yes, the first movie he's in. His introduction
His
is
first
you
appearance.
know, right. He's
missed
just
that, bro.
he's living the life in Miami. He's not like doing anything crazy.
With
He's just
that crazy fucking film.
gambling
Love
with
that
the
film.
fro, exactly. And now all of a sudden he is like absolute top
Right.
tier. But also
Fucking
there's something
tech
really
genius.
strange, which is
He's a
that
genius.
Brian acknowledges that he's the best circuit man, I believe he calls him, the best
Yep.
circuit man,
Yeah, the circuit
East
man.
Coast.
They need a
or
circuit
something
man.
like that. Which
Yep.
I don't think that's a phrase.
But
But
no, it is because it's the racing circuit.
oh, circuit
No, but
man.
circuit.
now
Oh,
we're
yeah, but
talking.
is circuit. But they were referring to circuit man because of
What I'm
tech.
talking about is Race Wars. Oh, sorry, wrong movie
Yes.
again. Okay.
No.
Yeah, movies.
Um,
Well,
Race
horrible.
Wars.
Once again, terrible name.
terrible
for a
name for an event.
Terrible
You
name
should
for a
not
race
name your event
competition.
Race Wars. Do not do
Awful
that.
name.
I wouldn't
Awful
go
name.
if it was anything cooler. Like
Yeah.
race wars?
Okay,
Let's go.
it's Tej. Tej is the MVP. All right, he gets upgraded like 27 levels here.
Right.
He is an absolute tech
That's
genius. He's able to just sort of like hack into the DSS mainframe or something like that. I'm not
Mhm.
sure. He knows how to break into vault security systems. You know, he's hiding out under Hobbs's car.
Genetics,
You know, putting
bugs.
GPS tracker.
trackers on it and stuff. Now, I will say that's the one spot where he kind of slipped up a little bit because by putting the tracker on, Hobbs was able to flip
Flip
at the
it back.
receiver
Right.
and find out where
Great
they were.
MVP,
What's up with that
Zach.
tracking chip? It took me a minute to
Yeah.
flip
Well,
the
also,
receiver.
if you recall, Roman did point out Tej is not, Tej. Of course, Tej doesn't drive cars. He's really bad at remote control cars too. Remember that?
Mhm.
Yes.
That's why he gets into a
Great
bunch of
pick,
accidents.
Zach. Great MVP.
Dude. Yeah, thank you. The guy's incredible. He's an absolute tech mastermind. He could be making
Ramsey's better.
I mean,
you know,
he was
in-
cool, but
doing a
True,
startup.
She did make a tire. Yep, we'll get there. Sorry, Ferris. We'll get
We'll
there.
get that. We'll get that.
We don't know
We'll
who
get
that
there.
is.
Hold on.
Yeah,
We
we
don't
don't know
know
who that
who
is. I don't know
Yeah,
who that is.
we don't know who
What are you
that
talking
is.
about?
We don't know
What'd
who
you
that is. Nah,
I don't know.
He's talking about a world that
he's talking about
exists.
Greek gods or
He-
something.
Yeah.
He's referencing a world where he's referencing the future where Han is definitely dead. So
Yes.
yes.
Most definitely dead.
yeah.
He's 100%.
So
Absolutely.
But anyways,
100%.
Tej MVP. Mia is second because she is, you know,
Pregnant.
carrying a baby.
right.
None
Right,
of the
she's
other
second.
characters do that. None of the other
I mean,
characters.
It's like
You're
it's like
right.
if Jeff. It's like if
Right,
Jeff
do it
said,
for Bella.
it's like Jeff saying, "Oh, Giselle's the MVP just because Reyes
She carries
grabbed
like
her
Hans.
ass."
or- yeah.
What?
Yeah,
No,
like-
carrying a child is an
Yeah.
impressive feat.
Yeah, you're
Our
you're,
family's
you're
getting
absolutely
bigger.
right. I think that yeah, I like that line too. I wrote that down. I do think that is a flawed logic to be like, yes, this
Yes.
person is in fact the MVP because of their biology.
man.
But
That's on you.
that's
Which
fine.
is barely there at this point. Just barely there at this
But
point.
anyways, I think that it's time that we shift to the final question of the night, and it is a question that we ask every week. We're 5 films in.
hmm
Are we in a superhero franchise yet?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Oh.
100%
I
yes.
think I think we took a step back in
No.
this movie from
No.
4. Actually,
You take
No.
a
No, we
you take a
I think we did.
you take a step back from 4. He is absolutely correct.
Yeah.
You take a
Yeah.
it's not a major step back, but it's a slight step back.
Wait,
Now
we
we're
take a
about-
step back, you think?
If
I think
we, on
we
like
took a
on
big
the
step
Yeah, because
I
forward.
think-
remember
I think
4,
on the
he had
action-
that,
on the
that
action
future
scale,
projection thing.
we got bigger on the superhero scale.
We got
I think
smaller.
we went backwards a little bit. There's not
I
as
mean,
much sort of like
There's
superhuman
no major superhero
activity.
stuff in 4
There's not
besides
people
the.
getting-
Well, hold on. Hey,
There's him
wait,
catching the train,
it-
getting shot, and not
there's
feeling
the
it,
point
having
in
like the
which he
psychic
got
vision
shot.
of the accident.
It's there's a bunch of
yeah.
weird stuff there,
Yeah.
and it is very like obviously like parody superhero stuff, like where Dom literally got shot and he just
Yeah.
acted as
That was
though he never
badass.
got shot. Yeah, I mean,
I'll
there's
get the
stuff
fuck
like
in
that.
the fucking car.
I think that the fact that they're able to survive way more stuff like this shows that we do take a step forward in the like in all the action and everything, how they're able to get away without a single scratch. To say like how the car is obviously going to crash into Reyes, and at the very last second Dom gets out, and yet he's totally fine. He doesn't like even roll and scratch himself or whatever. I think that they're getting to the point where they're more impervious to things happening to them.
Yeah, man. Because
I think that they don't show as many instances in which possible superhero instances are. But like I said before, there's a whole busload of people that should have died, and they all were like unbreakable, where no
You know
one
what? That's
died.
true. That's a good point.
But do they count?
Yes,
I don't
Because they're
not-
because
They're
The
not
prisoners are the
cast.
superheroes in this
No.
movie.
Right,
they're
no,
not the cast.
they're
I don't
not.
think they
They're
count.
not the main cast. They're not the main cast. If I'm calling this a superhero movie, I'm gonna look at the main players, and the main players don't
Yeah.
have that.
I don't
much.
care about
Don't
them.
know.
No. Hey, man. Remember
The main
Dominic
cast.
Toretto? He took a crowbar to the head and no damage, and then he was inches away from killing ZZ with just punches.
Hold on. You can kill somebody with punches. That's not an
Yes,
imaginary.
sure.
I mean,
He nearly-
thing.
Dom's
But also,
superhero
did he hit him in the
doesn't
head or did he
survive
hit him in the
punches by
back?
Hobbs.
Nah,
hit
dude,
him
it
in
was
the
the
back.
head.
It was the
All right.
back.
Back
Okay,
head.
okay.
Head.
Okay.
It doesn't
What,
matter.
now
Got
here's
hit
the
with a
deal.
crowbar.
All I was saying was we're moving forward. I did not say that we're there yet. We are very close though. However, John Lestrina said yes, and I want to hear why John Lestrina
Chronicle.
says yes.
Fast 5 is the 2012 Avengers film of the Fast and Furious franchise. It is the union of the two sides of the franchise. You have the OG crew with the new crew coming together, essentially coming together to unite as the Avengers to do
There's
this
also
one
the-
job.
There's Han from the Tokyo Drift crew also. You've
He's
kind of got
still
three
he's part of
crews.
he's part of the OG.
No.
He's technically part of the OG.
Okay, but I'm saying like
Not
from a
the Fast and Furious,
I know.
which
Okay.
took place.
So you're
I'm just saying
basically
from a-
No,
from
but
a-
that's-
from a
but
movie
But here's the thing.
standpoint.
Here's the thing. Han would be a part of the second OG crew, not the OG crew.
Right.
The OG
Yes,
crew is Vince,
Exactly.
That's
Mia,
yeah.
Dom.
You're right.
yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, and then you've got
That's
Tego,
true.
He's the first
Yes,
expansion
Rico.
to the OG crew.
Exactly. He's the
He
first.
is-
Tego, Tego, Rico,
he-
and Han.
Yes.
Yeah,
Tego,
those
Rico, and
three-
Han.
Those
Yeah,
three were
because-
the
'cause-
expansion, and then
'cause
they
Leon
added on
wasn't
Roman
there.
and Tej.
Yeah, Leon
Justice for
wasn't
Leon.
there. No, yeah, just for Leon. Jesse's dead. Letty's dead.
Justice
She's
for
sure
Jesse.
dead.
Just
I
for
mean,
Jesse
Jesse-
having an anxiety
Oh,
attack.
He had that
and
in
getting gunned
tension.
down.
He was
Deficit.
doing a lot of shit he shouldn't be.
Yes, that shit.
The man for sure. The man for sure. The man for sure crushed up pills and sniffed them. That dude for
I'm
sure.
all he's
that
got.
dude was-
Jesse
Yeah.
seems like a role that should have gone to like Jamie
Dominic!
Kennedy. He was unavailable.
I fucked
Did
up.
you say Jamie Kennedy?
Yeah, Jesse feels
Oh,
like it should have gone to
God.
Jamie Kennedy, but Jamie Kennedy was
I can see
unavailable at the
that.
time of
That's pretty
casting.
I
hilarious.
can see it too, but I don't. I'm glad it didn't.
Because,
I'm glad it
because
wasn't, yeah.
Jesse feels like whatever who was Jamie Kennedy's? The name of Jamie Kennedy's character in Scream? I think it was Ricky or something.
It was Randy.
Randy something.
Randy, that's it. I was close. Randy. He feels like the Randy of the Fast and Furious a little bit in his energy and ADD ishness. So maybe that's why I gravitate more towards him, is
Actually,
because
Randy
he reminds
didn't
me of
die.
Randy.
Huh?
Randy dies.
Did you say?
Huh?
Did you say?
You said Randy didn't die?
He died.
Randy
Randy,
dies.
Randy been dead.
When did Randy die?
Too.
In
Oh,
Scream
Randy
two.
died.
See, I've only
Randy
watched
died
one.
in Scream 2, and then he had, and then he. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
Oh, my
Stop
bad.
me
Spoiler
spoiling
alert.
Sorry, we spoiled a 25-year-old movie for you, man.
Right.
That's
You gotta
on
lead with
HBO
that.
Max currently.
Yeah.
Right. You
Hey,
gotta lead
Ferris,
with that,
I got
brother.
news for you. Ferris, I got news for you. Bruce Willis is dead at the end of Sixth Sense, and Snape killed Dumbledore. So,
So you know what?
I'm
I
sorry.
knew those.
Did it.
I knew those. I knew those.
But
And
who
also,
is
Han-
Luke's father?
Han is 100% dead, totally dead.
Letty,
It's amazing
100%
that they
dead.
made this movie and they're showing his story, and really all these stories are just about the stuff.
Wait,
And you heard it at the very end there. I heard you wanted
Letty's
to go
not
to-
100% dead. We find out at the end of this movie. She's
Yeah,
not
I
100% dead.
Yeah, she's not dead anymore.
Yeah.
She's been dead until the
Do
end.
you
of this
believe
one.
in ghosts?
Right.
You believe in ghosts? Good.
Oh wait,
quote.
John. So
Good quote.
your answer to why it's a superhero movie is just purely metaphoric, just because it's like Avengers coming together.
The team
I don't know.
up
I
after?
got cut off, so I have no idea what my train of thought
Okay,
was.
go ahead, John. Go ahead,
I
John. Go ahead,
lost
John.
my train of thought. I'm outnumbered, so it doesn't matter. No,
No,
I
I
mean,
mean,
again,
you
we've
said-
seen these people.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Zach. Were you say something? Sorry, Zach. Zach,
Then you
proceed, Zach,
said it was
sorry.
a superhero movie after 4, right? Is that correct?
100%. I mean, super strength,
Okay.
Dom, no cells, a bullet. Again, and that bullet, there was no exit wound, and that bullet was not in his shoulder, and it wasn't a graze, it was in the immediate part, which means his body absorbed the bullet. So it's 100% before this film is a superhero. Why are we having this discussion? It's 100% a superhero.
Yo, and
I
John,
just realized a continuity error. Okay, never mind.
But that's
Okay.
why I say we took a
Also-
step backwards,
also-
because I agree. 4 was
Right.
right on the edge.
Four is right on the edge.
Right on
This
the
one
edge.
takes a
Remember-
step back.
No, I mean, obviously,
Yo.
we've seen, I mean, again, Dom was on that bus in the beginning of the film. No scratches on him.
That's true.
We know it.
Correct?
also in number
Correct.
4,
Time
he
after.
projected the crash. So like he projected himself into Letty's crash
Also-
with Phoenix.
Also,
No.
I
He didn't
mean,
project.
they
He
were
just
also
put the
a
scene
rocket
together.
launcher was
Yeah.
shot at them, and the only one who was killed in that whole skirmish, besides the Rock's team of very clearly non-superhero super soldiers, was Vince. And Vince, as we know, is not a
bitch.
superhero because he's dead.
Yeah.
You know what? I
So-
don't appreciate you slandering Vince. Man.
Here-
Wait, Vince
here's
wasn't
the
a
deal.
dude. Vince didn't get hit with a rocket
He got
launcher.
shot by
Yeah, he got
shot.
shot.
All right.
Yeah,
in the
Again,
abdomen.
I'm saying he's the only one in that skirmish because they got shot by a rocket launcher that blew. I mean, do you have to explain what happens when an explosion happens with a rocket
It
launcher?
blew up
Involved-
the cars before and after the Rock's truck was in the middle. Blew up the 2 cars in the back so it can close them off.
an armored truck, mind you.
In
No,
any case,
it
it doesn't
Armored
fucking
truck.
matter. Vince died. They were all together in bullets being shot at them, and Vince is
R.I.P.
the only
Vince.
one who is dead.
All right, so
Very
let's. I
true.
think it's time that
Yes.
we wrap up. I knew that we were going to go over a little bit since we had a couple extra guests in here, but I do want to leave it with one last thing, because they were in Rio. We did
Rio.
not get to see the family drink any Corona. They were all hanging out, and they were drinking some other brand of beer. It felt
Mm.
off to me that none of them were drinking it.
That's why they failed a lot. See, that's why they failed.
Is that why
a lot. They weren't
Latrina isn't drinking a Corona tonight, or are you drinking a Corona?
No, I'm drinking the Miller High Life. It is
Okay.
typically is on sale. It's drinkable and also affordable. And I
And
thought I still had
also-
some Coronas, but apparently I drank them all. So that's what happens.
Well, it ended up working out for the theme of the movie anyway.
for this one. So, anyways, this once again very fun conversation, and
Do we have an outro?
it's- We
Jeez,
might have an
fucking
outro.
greedy, Ferris.
Um,
My God.
Sorry.
So, but
I
did
I'm not
not
sure.
edit it out.
Are you not entertained?
So I'm hopeful that our behind the scenes guy Buck is able to hear us because we're wrapping up. But here let's just go round robin here. Just where can people find you? Zach, we'll start with you.
You can find me absolutely nowhere. except for right here Thursdays at 9:30.
Yes. And of course, Zach also operates the scoreboard for us behind the scenes on our main show on Tuesdays. John Lustrina, where can people find you? You doing anything good coming up?
Actually, Saturday, this Saturday is the general debate on the Action whatever channel, where unfortunately, I guess I will be ending Buck's coaching run. Thinking for some reason he thinks he's as great as the great coach Kyle, which is ludicrous. So I will be looking to defend my championship
Coach Kyle.
because I won the last one, and also doing double duty coaching. So looking to go undefeated as a coach and get my officially second win, but unofficially third win in the general debate.
I'll say this, man. Coach Kyle's coach of that Pixar debate was the greatest coaching job of all time.
Thank you, Ferris.
He should be undefeated as a coach.
Yes,
There was a lot of good work in there. Ferris, where can people find you?
Also, his assistant coach Jeff was also great. Yeah, you can also find me at Let's Get Ready Network every Fridays. 6 o'clock is our main show, unless we have a pay-per-view, which makes it 8 o'clock. Every Monday, 4 o'clock, the Highlight Sports Show. That's my show. Every Thursday here for the next 3 weeks. And around. I'm at Ferris Bono on Twitter.
It is 3 weeks because we got we got 4 weeks because it's
4
6,
weeks.
7, 8, and then Hobbs and Shaw. So yeah, and Matt, where can people find you?
You can find me editing at my computer because apparently I have to make a Hobbs and Shaw intro.
Yeah, it's part of the series.
It's canon.
I only made 5 through 8, so I did not know.
Well, the fact that it's fine. Don't worry about it, man. But
it takes like 5 minutes. Don't worry about it.
Plug your shit, Matt.
I am. You can find me. It feels like this channel has almost become a second home. But you can also find me at Watt Real Entertainment, where I do Spin from the Real and Real Talk with my boys Nick Mulbach, who will be on here for Fate of the Furious, and my buddy Chris Anthony Lopez on Spin from the Real. We also have other shows on there like Really Scared, where you can find the Rager Rick Radis's Ragent Taylor Cleek hosting every week with Connor Breedlove, and the return of Really Drunk coming soon. So.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
Curious about what that is, and also how to get involved.
Right.
John Knight,
Very fun.
where can people find you?
All right, so you guys can find me on OnlyFans. No, so you guys can find me at Night Entertainment. $50.
It's tiered.
$50. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Tiered. It's tiered.
Right. You can find me at Night Entertainment, and hopefully you can find me here on the rest of this fast movement going on, because this was amazing. So hopefully you'll find me here. But you can find me at Night Entertainment. I host the show, The Film Cave. We go live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as well as my brand new show, Knight's Corner, where I dive into all NBA and sports, which is Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And all social media, John Knight, 2_. That's it.
And then, of course, we can also see you hopefully soon. You're going to be making an appearance in the FCL, correct?
Yes, that too. Oh, wow, I'm really horrible. Yes, so I'm definitely a new competitor. I am in the FCL. Like, banned, you're gone. The FCL, I'm going to be here to be putting boots to asses, and be on the lookout for that, because it's going to get ugly.
Absolutely. So next week, guys, we're going on to Fast and Furious 6, marketed as Furious 6, but came out as Fast and Furious 6.
I'll see you next week.
Big one. We're going to see these
Actually,
guys
like this one
again.
We own it.
Just
It's my
remember,
second favorite one.
It is the film with the longest airplane runway
Airstrip,
in history.
Airstrip.
You know what? I'm gonna
It's
say my
circular.
fun fact.
It's a track.
I'm gonna say my fun
It was
fact
just
for
endless.
next week.
It's a
save
movie.
it
They
for
can only
next
show
week.
one thing at a time.
Just
We'll
next
get there.
week, the series is going to kick it up another nickel.
Man, not a
This
nickel.
And what
is
do you say we
London,
kick it up?
baby.
Bro, that's
Doesn't matter.
$5
Everyone,
quarter.
have a good night. Fuck, take us out.